Hello everyone, in today's video we'll be looking at the Dorma DC500. This is basically a clone of the ASA 700. It's a very similar lock in terms of design of pins, but there are some differences that make this a bit easier. So let's see. This is our key, so it's a 7-pin lock, just like the ASA. Here's our bitting, couple or actually many high lifts in there. This is our housing, so it's a Scandi oval type. So yeah, the plug diameter is slightly larger, so be careful if you got it. This is our plug. So the keyway is pretty much the same, like one of the most common ASA 700 keyways. So it's the same keyway. Basically some drill protection in here and 7 pin chambers. And here's our first difference. It has countermilling, but it's present in 6 out of 7 chambers, whereas in the 700 it's only in 1, 2, 4 and 6. Actually that's where the gin bottle spools, or three driver pins, Christmas tree driver pins reside. So yeah, the milling is everywhere except for 7. I'm not sure what's the point of it, because it does not interact with other than the gin bottle spool or Christmas tree pins. So that's difference number 1. And the other difference is not easy to spot just by naked eye, because it's the way that this milling is done. So as you know, that the milling is basically like a pocket milled into the side of the chamber. So there's like a pocket, as I said, and it's designed to catch on these bottom lips of these so-called Christmas tree pins. So as you can see, there are 2 kind of sharp lips on this pin. So this is the first one. This is a bit wider. It does not catch into the countermilling, it just gives counter rotation. And this bottom one should actually get locked into the countermilling. That's how it works in the ASA 700. But here the milling is not that aggressive. So let me just demonstrate. Hopefully you will be able to see it. I will grab this one. So of course it kinda catches my hook. You can see there's some resistance, but this is not sharp. This edge, this upper edge, is not sharp enough to like give me too much resistance, right? So it does not catch these Christmas tree pins that well. I do have like a original ASA plug here, and this countermilling is sharp. So look, I need to push harder to get this hook out of there. So it's basically, I think it's not that visible if I show it you like this, but I can definitely feel it, right? So if I do this, I can feel that this edge is really sharp. So, and that's the reason this lock is easier than the 700. And I will tell you how does it translate into the actual picking process. So just let's take a look at the pins. So we have the same configuration of pins like in the ASA 700. So we have these Christmas tree pins in chambers 1, 2, 4 and 6, and we have tapered pins in 3, 5 and 7. So these tapered pins are not your average pins, but they get progressively narrower towards their ends. I don't know if you can see it, but they are not like straight. They are a little bit tapered, right? That's why they are called tapered pins. And what does this mean in terms of picking is that they like to drop a lot, especially in the first phase. of picking process, which consists of setting these tapered pins. What they do is, as soon as you set one and you set the other, the previous one drops. And you have to go through them like multiple times in order to get all of them above the shear line. So they are just there to annoy you, right? Okay, so let me just show you the drivers. So we do have some normal standard key pins. Did I say drivers? I think I did, and I also dropped one of these tiny key pins. Sorry for that. So this is a torpedo key pin. So as you can see, the shape resembles a torpedo, and what it should do, and sometimes it does if you're not careful enough, you can see that it is like this this narrow neck, and if you manage somehow to overset this key pin, it will just stay above shear. It will become trapped under this top lip, and you won't be able to reset, or you won't be able to just release tension, drop it without dropping everything else. So torpedoes are there just like some kind of overset trap, and they are in chambers 1, 2, 4 and 6, same like the Christmas tree pins. Okay, and I think I already showed you the Christmas tree pins, so there he is. So how do you pick actually this lock? So the picking process consists of 3 stages. 2 of them are same, like the ASA 700, and the third is different. So first phase, as I said, setting the tapered. So you just go through 3, 5 and 7 multiple times. You get some clicks, you get some faint feedback, and after that you will get a full set. What you can do during this phase is you can, under heavier tension, try to set also some of these wider parts of the Christmas tree pins. You don't have to do it, but you will just make your life a little bit easier in the second phase. But basically, first phase is setting the tapereds. After that you will get a full set, and that means you are ready to start setting this wider part. By wider I mean this one of this Christmas tree pin. So that will feel like your average counter rotation. It will feel basically like a normal spool. During this phase, what can happen is you can drop some of these tapered pins. You have to reset them, get your full set back, and continue with setting the wider parts of the Christmas tree pins. After you do that, you are in phase 3, and that's different like the ASA 700, because in phase 3 you are hanging on this narrower, this bottom part of the pin, and if the countermilling worked effectively, if it was sharp, you would not be able to just push this driver out of there without helping it yourself by manually counter-rotating the plug back in a process that is called float picking. In this lock, because this milling is not sharp, it's like I don't know what's the opposite of sharp, if blunt is a good word. Because it's blunt, you can just force this driver up with a little bit of counter rotation as well, and yeah, that's basically it. You don't have to do any advanced techniques. I actually made a huge mistake when I was picking this lock, or when I received it. I gave it too much respect. I tried to use 2 tensioners, I was float picking all of these drivers, and I did not know what to do because I was hitting a dead end. I got some opens, but I felt like this was just an accident, and that was a mistake. I gave it too much respect. So you don't have to float pick anything. I used just 1 tensioner, which is not even snug fitting. Basically anything you can get, you don't have to float pick. You just do the treat them like 2-stage spools. That's all I can give you. What this advice is, I think, the best for this lock. And for picking I also use one of these Jimmy hooks. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with it. I didn't use it too much so far, but as of now I think it's pretty good. I like the handle, I like the finish, and I like that I managed to pick it, this lock with it, so must be good, right? I will test it further, but so far they are pretty good. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to say about this lock. Do not give it respect. It's still a good lock. It's pretty challenging. It has good tolerances. You will drop pins every now and then, but do not overcomplicate stuff like I did, because you will just make problems for yourself. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say about it, so let's go ahead and get it picked. Alright, here we go. This Dorma Keyworks. So let me just grab this. So we will go counterclockwise. As you can see, this tensioner is not really snug, but it doesn't have to be, right? Okay, so first we will go after the tapereds, and maybe if it's possible we'll also try to set other pins too, but mainly what is of interest are pins 3, click there, 5, click there, and 7, click there. Okay, there's a click on 2, but this may drop. I click on 1 as well, 3 again, I'll click on 7, another one on 3, another 7, okay, another on 3, okay, click on 7, and we have a full set. So now we know that we should try to set the larger parts of the trees, so this will give us nice counter rotation. So 6, okay, there, but I lost the full set, so let's see if some of the tapereds, yes, are blocking us. 7, so we have our full set back. We have all 3 tapered set now, and number 6 is at the narrower part of the tree. So let's go ahead and continue with 4. So counter rotation there. Okay, got him. I think I managed to maintain the full set, which is nice. Moving on to 2. Click there, full set still intact, and 1 is already at the narrower part in the milling. So here comes the last, hopefully, phase, and we should try to move these narrow parts of the trees out of the milling, which is basically the same like we did before with the broader parts, because we also will get some counter rotation, but not as much. Okay, so let's go to 6. Okay, little counter rotation, a click, and 6 should be good. Let's try 4. Okay, so I think I managed somehow to already set 4, so it's already fine. 2, so counter rotation there, really tiny click, and I think it's set, and 1. Okay, I got 1, but now comes the part where a lot of stuff starts to drop. So let's see if we dropped anything. Okay, so 7, that's one of the tapers. This should not drop anymore in this phase. Maybe 6, yeah, I tapped him, and the full set just got deeper, but I think I dropped 2, yes, so more counter rotation on him, little click and he's set. And what about 1 now? I think he's good. So maybe 4 is blocking us. I just need to be sure I'm really on him. Okay, I think I am. So 4, click there, but the log is still not open. So okay, now 1 is giving me some tiny counter rotation. Okay, got him. Something else dropped. It was 2. Okay, got him. I'm just dancing between these pins, but that's fine. Sooner or later we will. Okay, now 6 is dropped. So I'm 6. Click on him. Of course, nothing happened. Maybe I underset him. Yeah, I did. So we have 6 now. And 2 is dropped. Would you believe it? Okay. Finally, after some ping-ponging, we have the lock open. Perfect. Sorry for this noise. I don't know if you hear it, but it's like my computer, one of the fans. Alright, so let's cut this. So it has a very similar C-clip like the ESA does. So it's deformable and kind of annoying to get off. So I will just keep it in the vise and use these 2 wrenches. Hopefully I want to spread it like this. Usually it works. I just need to angle them right. Okay. Well, this should be enough, I hope. Maybe not. Just a tiny bit more. Look how deformed it is. But you can deform it back, I guess. I don't like bending it in this angle, but I guess I will have to. Okay, so the clip is off. And now for the actual gutting. Let me just make some space here. Okay, so this lock, I'm pretty sure it takes slightly larger than normal follower size. So we will use this one from Sparrows. Of course we need a key, and not sure if I do need a shim, but I got like a feeling I do. So first of all, let me just shim this. Because you know there are these narrow parts of the trees and there is this gap where the circuit goes and it can get stuck in there, so hopefully I can get this shim in. Looks like I can. Alright, that should be just fine. Okay, so there's our follower. Let's go out. All good. All good. Okay, so let's dump the key pins first. So there's a torpedo in 1, there's a torpedo in 2, hardened steel in 3, torpedo in 4, hardened steel in 5, 6, come on out buddy. Okay, 6 should be a torpedo and this one 7. Okay, I think that's it. Before I forget, there's our milling. In case you cannot see, I think you can, but it's here. You can see it's not quite as aggressive as in the 700. and the drivers. Okay, so I won't be needing this, but I will need this. Okay, not used to this follower actually. So 7, so tapered. 6, nice 3, 5, 4, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Okay, so that's all she wrote, folks. So let me give you a close-up on these nasty looking pins. Alright, I think everything is visible. And yeah, that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you soon in the next video. Bye!